All right, it's 3 o'clock, so we'll start without further ado. I'm in our showroom today, which is nice. For a while we were home, now we're all back at work, which is really fun. And our showroom is a busy place. We have people coming in each day. Of course, if I weren't doing this webinar, I'd be wearing masks. But we have a lot of activity. I think people are very tired of their homes and are looking to renovate just like you. So my name is Sue Cannon. I have been with Granite State Cabinetry almost 13 years now, and I handle the sales effort. So as we go through these slides today, if you have any questions at all, just go to question and answer and raise your hand, and you can type in the question there. Or at the end of the seminar, you can do the same thing, and I'll stay on for a few more minutes if you have any questions. And we'll also give you all of our contact information at the end of the slides. So Granite State Cabinetry, a little bit about the company, has been designing and installing beautiful kitchens since 1996. Our owner, Frank Morris Sr., was a Bedford builder many moons ago. So he purchased the company with a great arm of expertise, and he used to buy kitchens from Granite State Kitchens. He renamed it to Granite State Cabinetry that long ago, and we've been pretty much in the Bedford community since then. We serve pretty much radiuses around Bedford, probably up to 40 minutes from our headquarters here at 384 Route 101 in Bedford. So without further ado, we'll just sneak to the next slide. Whoops. So I'm on a device that I've never used before. How fun for me. And now it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Ah, there we go. Okay, a little bit about us. So again, family owned and operated for 25 years. Frank Sr., who I mentioned, is still in the business each day, but he takes care of kind of everything at a bird's eye glance. His sons, Pete and Frank, are more in charge now, but we handle all in-house renovations. So from kitchens to bathrooms to office spaces to basements, we handle, bookcases, pretty much anything and everything you need to beautify your home. We have over 100 years of combined kitchen experience. We have 4 full-time designers on site, all have many years experience designing, both in interior design as well as kitchen design. That is Frank Jr. He is at the helm along with his brother Pete. Mary Ellen does all of our scheduling. Kathleen, Kelly, myself, Jackie, Whitney, all on the design team. That's Linda, our bookkeeper, Dave, our installer, Cliff, our installer, and Jeff, all on our install team. So a great team of folks. What we do. So again, we design beautiful living spaces. So this is a gorgeous kitchen renovation that we did probably 2 years ago. We had gone in and done their master bath first, and then they called us a couple of years later when they were ready for their kitchen. This is a nice one because it's not a painted cabinet. So of course we know painted cabinets, white, gray, blue, are all really popular, but this is a beautiful wood species. The nice feature about this kitchen too is we took down this half wall, which allowed a more open, convenient space looking into their dining room. So they were underutilizing their dining room space, and taking that wall down really helped to open the space up. So what we do, we specify kitchen, bathroom cabinets, all the countertops, the hardware, the tile flooring, the sink, faucet, and all the installation of all of those pieces. We thought we'd show you another beautiful wood cabinet. So this is a beautiful black walnut. And again, lighten things up with a beautiful backsplash, a very light color on the wall. And actually these countertops are granite. You would never know it because they look like wood. But when you feel this granite, it has a beautiful luxury texture to it. Very stunning. Okay, so we plan the entire project. So typically we start from the floor up. So most times customers are looking to go to the ceiling, like this kitchen. Sometimes you might have a soffit there, which we remove. We add all the lighting, the cabinetry, the countertops, sink, faucet, hardware, and of course the fabulous design and installation. We execute the plan and manage the transformation. This is a great transformation here. I believe further in we show you a before and after of this gorgeous kitchen. But this is very much trending. The white painted perimeter, and that island is of cobalt blue color. Very, very popular. And you see here we paneled appliances. So that refrigerator kind of softens the look to the refrigerator so that it looks more like cabinetry. The wood hood, same thing, kind of hides that metal appliance in the space, making this a really luxury kitchen look. But as you see, the space is not very large. So we can do a lot with spaces in creating things that you may not have thought of. Turning the corner here into their very informal little kitchen table area is something that the homeowner, really loved when she saw the design for the first time because it was unexpected. We celebrate, of course, the completion of your dream. This is another beautiful kitchen, a little lighter on the island color than the cobalt blue. This is called blue fur. And then we mimicked the backsplash to kind of bring in some of those blue tones so that it would tie in. And as you see, we did a softer blue on the walls. But this is your typical farmhouse look with the beadboard back on the back of the island, the beadboard back on the back of the hutch piece, doing some open shelves and allowing for some glass display cabinets, all kind of add to that farmhouse look. Our process. So our process starts here with me in the showroom. We can either do an appointment here or we can also do a Zoom appointment. Later today, I have a Zoom appointment for a woman who babysits her grandchildren, and she said, I'm kind of, up in years, although I don't have any underlying conditions. My husband does, so I'm trying to stay safe. So we want to make sure, we can check the box that we've done the Zoom meeting first and can make sure that everything is to our liking before we come on site, and that's absolutely fine with us. So we talk about all the different pieces to your kitchen by first having you send along some pictures of the space. So what we're looking for in those pictures is not a look of what door style or cabinet color or countertop you have now, but more the lay of the land. So looking to see where the walls and windows fall. Oftentimes your builder has used the least amount of cabinets possible because of course they were probably on a super strict allowance and they weren't looking in the grand scheme of kitchens. And of course kitchens have come a very long way since 20 years ago. Now the kitchen is the hub of your home, a place where your family meets each day, a place where homework gets done, and it's just so much more now than it ever was as a gathering space for your lovely family. So we take a lot more time and effort now in making sure that the kitchen is expertly crafted so that every nook and cranny has a very usable space for your family. So we start with pictures. So this is a great before picture. And this is pretty much often what I see, that beautiful cathedral arch on the cabinet, the peninsula. And this is another great one where they're not to the ceiling, a builder grade maple cabinet with some white appliances. So these pictures give me a good lay of the land. So I can see without too much challenge how we would look to transform them. And then I'm able to talk to you about how that would go. So resources for our pictures is our awesome website. So you'll find some great before and after shots on our website. You'll find, I think, about 30 different portfolio kitchens. It shows you some of our showroom pictures. It has some great testimonials on the website. So do spend some time looking through that website. It's kind of chock full of information, and it's certainly not boilerplate. We do spend a lot of time in making sure the website is updated with today's trends. The other great spot to check out is houzz.com. So it's HOUZZ.com. And once on Houzz, you can find Granite State Cabinetry just by going to find a kitchen and designer, and then putting in Bedford, or even putting in your town, we will come up. And on Houzz, I believe we have 290 jobs on Houzz and about 122 reviews of our company. So how customers thank us for our hard work is they go on Houzz and review us. They tell you a great story of where they started, how they began in the showroom, how they had a budget, and how we stuck to it. Our goal in the end is to make friends. So I'm grateful to say that everyone in our building has a concentrated effort to make sure our customers are happy. And we go to great lengths to be sure that we fulfill your vision for the kitchen and also have a very personal stamp on your renovation. So there is our Houzz page on Houzz. And Houzz is a great resource for any home and remodeling project. I go to Houzz just when I'm even looking to pick a paint color for one of my kids' rooms, because you can see it already done for you. So Houzz, again, great resource. Facebook, we do have a very active Facebook page. We post to it almost every other day. Typically, we're posting onto Facebook kitchens that we've recently remodeled. So it gives you kind of a snapshot of what just went in to probably one of your neighbor's homes. In addition, we sometimes post recipes, and we have fun with Facebook. So it's a good spot. Instagram, I'm just getting used to Instagram, but some of the younger gals here do post to Instagram fairly often. So you can like us, Granite State Cabinetry, on Instagram, and then see our posts. The post that's showing here is an install we did out on Rattlesnake Island. We actually took a pontoon boat over with all of their kitchen cabinets and countertops, sink, faucet, and hardware. It was a pretty neat excursion. And now we're doing one of his neighbors. So we joke that soon we'll have a Granite State Cabinetry pontoon boat. So how do you change the existing space? Of course, sometimes you might look at your kitchen and think, oh, geez, I just don't have any idea how we can redo this kitchen and make it feel like it's a good bang for our buck. So sometimes we stay within the existing walls, and sometimes we expand the kitchen by removing walls or half walls. This is a great one. That's the before, obviously. You see that lovely soffit with kind of hand-painted tulips, it looks like. The rooster rug on the floor. Kind of the nice plaid curtains and the really super old lighting and ceiling fan. And now this is what that kitchen looks like. So you see that it would be hard for the customer to recognize that, my goodness gracious, let's get rid of that awful refrigerator wall and open the space up. These folks are empty nesters. So they're now able to sit, the two of them, at the end of this island, but they also got a great table space, as you can see in the far end of this picture. We were able to put in a coffee bar, which serves both for wine, beer, coffee. They have a beverage fridge there. A nice big island, so now she has tons of prep space. And here too, we did a nice cream cabinet with a rub through. We did a deeper gray island. Their perimeter countertop is a dark chocolate brown. It's called Luxury Leather. The island is done in a quartz, which brought both the ivory and the gray together on the island countertop. So again, you see a nice complement of finishes, and our designers help you with each and every part of the space, because I know sometimes people are perplexed by having it all come together. And they are experts at, choosing with you the right door style, the right countertop application, the right backsplash, the right countertops for both island and perimeter, and of course the color scheme, and even down to the hardware and the paint color. So we leave no stone unturned in helping you make all those selections. All right. How do we want to change the existing space? Sometimes folks come in and again, just really aren't sure. This is another one where this is a much more contemporary door. So it's called a slab door, where the hardware is almost center stage because the door is virtually flat. And you see here a beautiful countertop application. And that countertop application is quartz, meant to look like marble. And we also tiled right up the backsplash with that quartz material, so that it's a very seamless and on-trend look. It's not for everyone. Of course, you wouldn't put this in a very traditional home, because then it would look like your kitchen didn't fit. But in the right space, this is a really trendy kitchen. What about doors and windows? Do I add, remove them? This is a great slide for that. So that's their before and their after. What a change that window made. So not only did we make the window larger, but we brought the window down to the countertop, making it easy for this 5'4" homeowner to easily see out that window now. It's amazing what a detail this is, and how much light now comes into the kitchen, and how much better you feel by standing in this kitchen space. So a couple other things you see we did here. We moved the fridge over to the right wall, and we were able to make the hood on center stage. So you see there a more equal cabinet to right and left of the hood wall, so that when you're sitting at the island or when you're sitting at their table space, you have a beautiful, beautiful focal point. And of course, what's not to like about those lovely pendants? And again, a signature quartz countertop. A very beautiful backsplash here too. Very simple, not overstated, but that's a gorgeous tile, especially when you see it up close. It has a beautiful crackle polish finish. And the biggest feature here that helps this homeowner is getting their appliance, the cooktop, off their island and putting it on the perimeter. That is huge. Most people don't like their appliances on their island because, of course, it takes away from prep space. It makes a lot of mess for all of your guests to see. So putting that big cooktop on an exterior wall made things so much easier. This is another great renovation. We see this look a lot, the wider island. I happen to be seated at one right now in our showroom. So adding width to the island makes a really nice space for your guests to enjoy, as well as for you to prep at. This is great though. She loves turquoise, as you can see, and we just brought in some soft turquoise elements to the drapes, to the rug. But most everything about this kitchen is very transitional. So when you come in, we'll kind of try and uncover what looks you like. Do you like modern, or do you like farmhouse? So there's a nice modern kitchen for you, which what makes this modern is that full height backsplash, the slab door, that really unique light fixture, the squareness of the stools and the squareness of the island, all the sharp corners, and some of the open shelves too. And this becomes more a farmhouse look. What makes this a farmhouse look is the wide plank floor, some of the natural grain barn board that we put around the sink area, and then we followed that up with that same look on the natural wood shelves. So again, this is more a farmhouse look. Craftsman or traditional styles too. So there's your Craftsman, you know, the wide style and rail on the shaker door. And it makes this a little more elegant, in my opinion, to add the transoms above. The transom is that added cabinet above the wall cabinet to add some decoration and some light to the design. This has a fun backsplash to it. And you see again then the Craftsman style island top and the Craftsman style stools. Very fun. And then this is a little more traditional. The white paint, some of the black elements, the black countertop, the raised panel door, a little more embellishments around the hood. So that's a little more traditional style. But you're trying to kind of hit it out of the park, both with what you like and also what goes in your home. And needless to say, we help you with that too. Our most popular style is transitional. So that's the sweet spot between contemporary and traditional, transitional. And this is a transitional kitchen. You know, very clean, classic lines. There's nothing there that's going to go out of style anytime soon. And again, clean lines is probably the easiest way to say what makes this kitchen transitional. And then this is a transitional kitchen too. Again, it's not contemporary and it's not traditional. It's that sweet spot right there in the middle. And then oftentimes people come in not knowing the difference between granite or quartz. So just to take a moment to explain granite and quartz. So granite is a product that comes from the earth and not man-made, and comes in some lively prints. So we take you into Haverhill, Mass or Lowell to choose your granite. And you're actually looking at your 8-foot slab and we're tagging it with your name on it. Because from lot to lot, granites can fluctuate. Really fun to go granite shopping. Our team goes granite shopping with you, so you don't end up there going, oh my goodness, I have no idea what to pick. Where's my designer? And also, there are other products at the stone yards like quartzite. So quartzite also comes from the earth, but has properties of both marble and granite, different from quartz, which is man-made. So just to spend a minute on quartzite. So quartzite is very strong and durable. However, because it carries some properties of marble, it can also etch and it can be porous. I have quartzite in my own home because it looks a little bit like marble. But we do have to be careful with it. If I'm making lemonade or cutting tomatoes or beets, those are all things that could make the quartzite etch, or because it's porous in some places, and if I cut a beet and some of the juice rolls off the cutting board, it could stain my quartzite. So it's something you have to be careful of. They are all sealed for a lifetime now. So if you buy it from us, your granite is sealed for a lifetime, as is your quartz, as is your quartzite. And there are some really beautiful wood finishes now. Again, we finish that with a very durable finish, so you don't have to worry about it over time. But wood does need to be taken care of like a fine piece of furniture. So it's not for everyone. Appliances. So let's just talk a little bit about appliances. So we don't sell appliances here at Granite State Cabinetry, but we do have a fabulous gentleman over at Barron's. We recommend, his name is Ross Ewald, and he walks you through the appliance piece. One of the tricks right now with COVID is that appliances are difficult to come by. So you almost want to do your appliances a little earlier in the process than you once did, because they take a while to get here. So this is a panel ready refrigerator. And in addition, that's a steam oven as well as a coffee maker, all integrated. And as you can see, very beautiful. And there's more what we're used to, counter depth refrigerator with a stainless front. Those drawers in the center are beautiful for deli drawers. And then the bottom freezer. This is a freestanding 30-inch range, but that's called a slide-in range, where you notice it doesn't have the big range back, making the backsplash a little more seamless. And sometimes we put the microwave over, but typically this, you would see a beautiful stainless hood there, and then a microwave drawer. The microwave drawer comes out to meet you. It's not something that you have to bend down to operate. We're integrating beverage fridges all the time, both beverage drawers as well as beautiful glass elements like this one. And then here's the wall oven, the warming drawer, again, coffee maker. There is that cool microwave drawer. I wish I invented this thing. So Sharp invented the technology for the microwave drawer, and as I said, you basically push open, the drawer comes out to meet you, you put what you're microwaving in it, push close, and 2 minutes start, and it's magic. And then here is more typical of what you see with that 30-inch freestanding range. Again, slide in without the big range back profile, so we can put a beautiful backsplash application there in tile, as well as a nice hood. Many different designs of hoods. If you don't like that one, there are chimney style hoods, there are glass hoods, lots of options, wood hoods. And lastly, here's kind of an integrated application for the actual cooktop. Very cool. And that's actually called a range top. Plumbing fixtures, my goodness, we've come a long way with sinks. So sinks are now the most used appliance in your kitchen. They always were, probably, but now we're kind of hyper-focused on them because there are so many elements that we can add to the sink to make it more functional for you. So the sink typically has, as you see in this first picture, a sink grid, which protects the basin of the sink. The other thing that's nice for too is if you have something really hot off the cooktop and you don't want to put it on your granite or quartz, you can put it in your sink. Because that grid is protecting the basin of the sink. This next sink, as you can see, is a stainless steel farmer sink. Farmer sinks are really in. They come in porcelain and fire clay. They come in fun colors. They come in, of course, copper and a mixture of metal textures. The world's our oyster with regard to sinks and faucets. This beautiful faucet is made by Waterstone. That is probably the equivalent to Sub-Zero Wolf, but Waterstone is now their umbrella company for faucets. And they make some gorgeous, gorgeous styles. And we are an authorized vendor of Waterstone. More faucets, and of course the hot water dispenser and the pot filler. All great elements that you can add to your kitchen. We have great displays here on site about all of the additional accompaniments to the sink. So the sink strainer, the taco bar, the cutting board applications, they're all integrated now so that literally your sink becomes an area where you can prep and dry dishes and do everything. So what else do we handle? We handle from the floor up. So the flooring, we handle the tile or hardwood piece or luxury vinyl. I would probably say that hardwood is what most people choose for flooring in our New Hampshire weather because it's warmer underfoot in our cold, colder months. In addition, it's softer on our back and neck as we age. Sometimes people choose tile, especially those that have tile now, just because it's easier and you don't have to go into abutting rooms that might be hardwood now. So sometimes if you have tile with wood in your abutting rooms, you might choose tile again just to keep it simple. But for the most part, hardwood is probably the most often demanded flooring option. Luxury vinyl, a great option too if you have large pets, because hardwood and big dogs don't mix. Or if you feel as though you'd like to go from tile to luxury vinyl. That's also a great option, and we have them all here on display. Backsplashes, so many options. We do a lot of subway, a lot of glass tiles, some beautiful mosaics, herringbones, and here we help you with color, texture, and pattern. Here's some great ones to show you. So this, as you see, is a quartz countertop. Again, that's a slide-in range, no giant range back. As you can see, that's a trend. So quartz countertop, and then a beautiful stone backsplash. So that's a marble. And then we mixed it up a little, keeping the marble texture the same, but changing the patterning for the picture frame. There's another pretty one. So that's a subway tile done with a really tight grout line so that the grout doesn't take center stage. A lot of time people ask me about how hard or easy it is to clean backsplashes. And my answer is, once you have a beautiful backsplash, you start to cap your pots a lot more often. So I did my kitchen about 6 years ago, and I have a beautiful Carrara marble and metal backsplash. And I never realized what lids were for until I had a backsplash, because now I pretty much always cap my pots if I have even a hint of thought that something might get on my backsplash, because I really don't want to have to clean it. It's so pretty and they're costly. So you have a habit more of protecting your backsplash from stains and splashes on your pots. We of course help you with all the decorative hardware. So we have over 300 different styles of hardware. We help you choose your wall color. We help you choose your light fixtures. We also have a great agreement with Just Lights in Nashua, where our customers are extended our 20% discount for any fixtures that they buy, as long as you're doing your kitchen through Granite State Cabinetry. And we even help you with bar stools. So determining the budget. This is a tricky one, and it's easier to show you here. And I'm actually going to go into both slides. So I like to put these side by side. Oftentimes people come in and say, well, what does the average kitchen go for? That would be like saying, what does the average house go for? I don't know. Could be 300,000, could be 1.3 million, depends upon the pocketbook. So there is no average cost for a kitchen. Because your house might have a very large space, we'll use $500,000 as our budget number. $500,000 house might have a big kitchen space in it, or it might have a small kitchen space in it. So these homes are both probably valued in about $500,000, and you see the difference in size. The left side is a much more affordable option, not as grand as the kitchen on the right, but still very beautiful. Cabinets to the ceiling, a very simplistic door style that the couple chose because they run more on that transitional side. You have a beautiful quartz countertop on the perimeter and a complementary quartz counter on the island. But it's a smaller kitchen than the kitchen on the right side. So just to start with ceiling height, the kitchen on the left ceiling is probably 8.5 feet, and the kitchen on the right is 10 feet tall. So just in the ceiling height alone, there's a lot more cabinetry needed. The island is probably twice the size of the kitchen on the left. And then all of the appliances too. This has double wall ovens, microwave drawer, beverage fridge in the island, and the refrigerator. So the kitchen on the left cost about $34,500, and the kitchen on the right almost twice that. So that's why it's almost impossible to talk about what kitchens go for, and why we have you send us those pictures in advance so that we can talk about your costs associated with your project. And I find that's the aha moment, that after that first appointment, people leave here knowing what their project might cost, and they really feel like finally they can wrap their arms around it. What does the price include? So our prices include the material and installation. So that's cabinetry, countertops, tile, plumbing fixtures, that would be your sink and faucets, your decorative hardware on the cabinets, any accessories inside the cabinets, and then you can or don't have to choose us for the construction piece. So this is the scope of work. So I like to use my hands to make this easy. So we always handle cabinetry, countertops, sink, faucet, hardware, and installation. So this is all the time. Sometimes people choose us for this hand too, which is all of these pieces. Let me just get them all on the screen here. So that's demo and removal, plumbing, electrical, drywall, flooring, window replacement and trim and framing, painting and wallpaper. So this hand obviously fluctuates from home to home, because sometimes people might say, our floor doesn't need to be touched. We're not taking any walls down. My windows were just done. So this hand gets less and less. We also allow you to use your own plumber, your own electrician, your own drywaller on this hand to save costs. So there's a lot of options, and we go through that very methodically here in the showroom so that you can ebb and flow based on your project and your project's needs. So it's kind of the scope and the materials are separate, but we can talk about them together, and we can also give you a ballpark price for both. The fun part. So the storyboard is really fun, what you do with your designer. And you and she collectively, you and she collectively just start bringing all the elements together. So the door style, the countertop color, the faucetry, both the texture, style, and design of faucet, with the hardware, and we have one color of paint going on the perimeter, one color on the island, of course the fun farmer sink here. And these pieces might take one appointment, they might take 3. But we help you and handhold you so that you don't feel like you're ever floundering if this isn't your skill set. Then we generate computer renderings. So how amazing does this look? I showed you this kitchen early on in an actual picture. This is the computer rendering for that same kitchen. So you can see it's very easy if you're a visual person, which almost everyone is. People need to see what it's going to look like. What's that end result going to look like to make me feel as though I'm comfortable with Granite State Cabinetry? And you see this rendering is very true to life and gorgeous. This is another perspective of that same kitchen, the very first one that I showed you on the screen. So you can see we've come a long way with our technology and being able to show you almost what looks like a picture. And we do this in 3-dimension, and we also walk through the kitchen and label all of your accessories too. So it really feels like you're in the space. This is from that perspective where the little kitchen table was. And then here's the before and after for that space. So the top picture, obviously the before, and the bottom is the photograph from the homeowner's house after the kitchen remodel. What a change. And here it is from the other perspective. Pretty cool. And also neat for you to see how we got there. So know that we carry 5 different cabinet lines. Each of our cabinet line probably comes in 100 colors and probably 150 door style options. And we have 5 lines to choose from. So we know without a shadow of a doubt that we can certainly find a cabinet line for you and a door style and countertop application. And then we start the fun part, which is the hardware piece and the backsplash piece and the sink and faucet. And we do it pretty methodically. We don't have you making too many choices all at once, so you never feel overwhelmed. And first we do cabinets and counters, and then we do backsplash, hardware, sink, and faucet. So we don't want anybody floundering or feeling overwhelmed in this process. And that is the finished kitchen. Very neat. Another perspective of that kitchen. In this photo, that island looks black. I'm not quite sure why, because it is a beautiful blue. There's the blue. And you can see how fun it is to go from what they had, which was that cathedral arch, rich cherry door, to something very bright, very welcoming. And you can see they're going to enjoy this kitchen for many years. And just while I'm on this page, lighting is a huge piece to a kitchen remodel as well. So in this kitchen, we did all new ceiling fixtures. So we went from a big 6-inch can to a 4 or 5-inch can, but added more of them. We did under cabinet lighting, which is a huge element, and we added task lighting in their pendants. So, and also a beautiful fixture over their table. So lighting does play a huge role. We do a lighting plan for you. And whether your electrician is executing that plan or we are, not an issue. That lighting plan comes with your kitchen design plan. And here's some more before and afters. So as you all know, at the top is the before and the bottom is the after. Same kitchen though. So here again, you see we just extended the space to include what was formerly their dining room. Way back here was the dining room. So we made the kitchen extend into that space and now brought their table, which is much more informal, over here. So now everybody kind of convenes together without this wall in the way. Very cool. And then on this side, so they also do have, as you see, another secondary island down here. Open shelves, double wall oven, nice big refrigerator. And note too, we do kitchens of all sizes. So we do small kitchens, medium-sized kitchens, or large kitchens in this equation. So never feel as though your job is too small or too big for us. The majority of our work is right in the middle. How long does it take? I'm going to open all of these slides. So right now, cabinetry is 6 to 8 weeks waiting. So your kitchen is under renovation for 6 weeks from start to finish if we're doing your floor. So it takes 6 weeks to renovate if we're doing your floor from start to finish. And in addition, you're waiting 8 weeks prior to us starting for the cabinetry to arrive here on site. We don't take your existing kitchen out until all of your cabinetry is here, because goodness knows we wouldn't want you to have no kitchen for all of that time. So 6 weeks is the typical time frame that a kitchen is under renovation. We do set up your kitchen in a separate area of your home. So oftentimes that's in your dining room. And we bring your refrigerator into that kitchen space. Forgive me, a client just walked in as I was speaking to you. We bring your dining room into that satellite area with a 6-foot table. Oftentimes your microwave goes on the table so that you're still kind of operating in satellite space. The thing that you miss the most, of course, is your kitchen sinks, which does go away. I joke people should go all to paper during this time, so you kind of should try and eat your big meal during the day and your lighter meals at night. But everybody gets through it because, of course, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We do use HEPA filters in your renovation just to try and keep the dust down to a admirable degree. And we do use big plastic zip walls and plastic curtaining to kind of curtain off the area that we're working in. We really enjoyed you joining us today. And again, my name is Sue Cannon. I do handle your first appointment, and I kind of walk with you through a lot of the project. If you're interested, feel free to call me and we can make that first appointment here in the showroom or via Zoom, whatever is more comfortable for you. And of course, I would love some of your pictures so we can get started with your befores. Our next webinar is August 16th at 3 p.m. And we're going to talk about backsplashes, tile, and paint. So you'll be joining one of our designers, Whitney, who is super talented, and she's a lot of fun as well. So join us for that webinar if you'd like to be part of learning more about backsplashes and tile choices and paint. You can go to Granite State Cabinetry to save your seat, just as you did for this webinar. And of course, we'd love you to book your consultation. So I believe my email is on here too. Oh, maybe not. So this is a great time for question and answers. I'm going to kind of go back one and see if I can figure out how to look to see if you have any questions. But my email is scannon, C-A-N-N-O-N, @gscabinetry.com. If you want to get started sending me some pictures, and then I'll reach out to you and we can pick a time convenient, again, for a showroom visit or a Zoom visit. I do evening and weekends, so I'm happy to help accommodate your schedule. We're really excited to have the pleasure of working with you. So remember gscabinetry.com to get your creative juices flowing, or house.com, and then find a pro. Go to GS Cabinetry and you'll see our whole portfolio of work. And in the meantime, feel free to call me or email me and we can get the party started. Thanks everybody for your time today. I know you have a lot of ways to spend your time and we're grateful that you spent your time with us. We look forward to working with you. And I'm gonna check my question and answer if I can figure out how to do it on this new machine that I have here. Oh, I don't know if I did it or not. Maybe I did. Yes, I did, I think. Okay, let's see. What was the total cost for this kitchen, the one with the cobalt island? Great question. So the cost for that island, that kitchen, we did not do scope of work. So that homeowner took care of all their own scope of work. So the kitchen in its entirety, including the backsplash application, so cabinetry, countertops, sink faucet, hardware, installation, was in and around $60,000. And that's because they did a wood hood, an inset cabinet, beautiful finishes everywhere. And are all of your lines custom? No, we have 2 full custom lines, and we have 2 standard lines that also offer semi-custom. So no, you don't have to choose a custom cabinet line if you're concerned about cost. If you were reselling your house, what would you recommend to appeal to the masses? All great questions. I'm happy for these questions. I would always recommend transitional styling. So transitional, again, is not contemporary and is not traditional. It's that sweet spot right in the middle. So oftentimes we pick what's called a door with a slate molding. It's not a shaker door. It has a little bit of a cove molding. And it has a little bit of an edge band molding. So it looks a little dressier than a straight shaker, making it very transitional. And then we pick finishes that have less color so that the permanent finishes in the kitchen are very neutral, allowing the homeowner to add any pop of color that they'd like. As we know, painting a kitchen, you could paint a kitchen in a weekend. So that pop of color we save for the walls so that the next homeowner can change that out easily. And of course, anything of permanence is more neutral. I hope that answers the question. Let me see if there's any others here. Do you charge for consultation? No, we do not charge for consultation. So that first appointment is usually an hour to an hour and a half long with me. And there is no charge. And it's certainly, it's fun. We enjoy what we do. We enjoy meeting you. And by the end of that appointment, you have a really great idea of what a kitchen remodel will cost. And most people end that meeting by, feeling really thankful that it's not smoke and mirrors anymore, that they really have now a more candid approach to a project that they were overwhelmed by because they had no idea of costs. So we're an open book. We walk through projects, show you what they cost. We'll walk through your project, talk about real costs associated with your job, and also offer options of how to save. So I'm very candid with you, and I am very frugal. So I like to make the most of your money as well. If we don't have an existing hood, is this something difficult to add? No. It's super easy to add, even if it's on an interior wall. So the hood application goes right behind the crown molding detail. So in each cabinet, each kitchen, we're trying to bring cabinets to the ceiling now if we have the budget and it's trending. So we want to make the most of the space too. So we do what's called a fascia molding, which is a flat piece of board, and then your crown, which kind of steps off of that at an arch. So that 6-inch of framing that's needed to bend your hood outside goes behind the crown and out the window wall. And it's pretty easy to do. So no issue at all. All right, let's see what else here. I think that's it. Did I get them all? Yes, I think I did. So again, thank you all for joining us today. We look forward to the pleasure of working together, and we'll see you again soon. Okay, bye now.